Hello guys, welcome back to episode 4 of my little Thaumcraft mini-series. We've covered quite a few things. I think I'm doing them in quite a good order. So I've got a little list here. This is from Bibliocraft, this little clipboard. And so in our first episode, did our first important research, got to node mastery, research mastery, and node preserve, stuff like that. Got our thermometer, goggles revealing, and thermometer robes for our V reduction, so we can see nodes and all stuff like that. Second level, we did the infusion crafting, and we made a proper wand. And then we got into the essentia jars and stuff. We also made the boots of travelling, of course, but I've not put that on the list here. Then we've got one with node moving, so we've got some nodes here. Wand recharging using the pedestal where our wand sits on. I need to make a couple more of these. I'd like to have at least 3 of these, so I've got a load of charged up ones, because my basic chunk loaded, they recharge when you're offline as well, which is quite nice. And then we did the osmotic enchanting, so we can use our nodes and our recharge wand to get whatever enchants we want, which is really cool. I like that a lot. So now, this episode, we are going to concentrate on our Thaumic tools and our wand foci. So these are now the tools of the trade we're going to be using. Just so you know, I'm actually wearing a sanguine helmet, which is from Blood Magic, and it's got built-in goggles revealing in. But that's a little single add-on piece to Thaumcraft if you've got Blood Magic. But so my other armour is actually there at the minute. I've been told if I shift click on this, boop. Yep, it swaps them. Cool. So I'll leave this one on for now. So this actually gives you an extra 5% over the other ones. So the goggles and the helmet there both give you 5% V reduction. This actually gives you 10%. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, weapons and not weapons, tools and armor. So we want to be in the artifice line again. Now the tools, there is a weapon in here as well. Solar Zephyr. So I'm calling tools, but we've got some good tools here. The only one I don't really use is the pickaxe of the core. Pickaxe of the core gives you a chance of getting these things. If we go to page 5, is it? No. These things, page 4. These are native iron clusters. These are like a bonus you can get when you're mining. So, in effect, you can get extra ores. That gives you, like, it doubles your ores up that way. So that's pretty cool. But I don't often use the pickaxe of the core. But I'm going to research all these. I've actually got Axe of the Stream researched, and that's probably the first one I'm going to make, because that's one of the ones I found most useful. I am going to make all of these. I'm going to make the Hoe Growth, the Shovel of the Earth Mover, and the Sword of the Zephyr, and I'll make a pickaxe of the core as well. So my first thing I'm going to get on with is I'm going to get all the research for this done, and I'll come back. I'll leave that in final fairness out of the way for now. I'll come back when I've got the research sheets done, and I'll talk you through what aspects we used for each of them, and then I'll get all them made in the infusion crafting. I'll show you maybe 1, maybe 2, and then after that we're going to move on to wand foci. So we've got our best one now. We've got our silverwood wand core, we've got our Thaumic wand caps. That's the best one you can get. What we need to do now is we need to start creating the things that can change that wand into other tools for us. So that's by researching this thing, wand foci. Once we've done that, we can get a bag for our wand foci, and we can research lots of different wand foci, because they get added by Thaumcraft and Thaumic Tinkerer and Thaumcraft extras. So we've got a lot of things. You can have like the one of dislocation that you can pick spawners up with, and we can pick any block up with, I think. So you can move chests with it. You can pick spawners up. Wand of Equal Trade, which is extremely good for building and mining. You can put enchants on it, so it's like fortune enchant. It's called treasure. All kinds of stuff. Weapons, of course, fire, ice, shock, and then all kind of extra stuff. There's a Ender one from, I think, Thaumic Tinkerer or Thaumic Extras. There's ones to do with Peck, which are the little guys you can trade with. So that's what we're going to be on for the second half of the episode. So I'm going to cut now. I'm going to do all the research for the tools and weapons, and I'll be back when that's done. I'll see you in a bit. Here we are then. Some time has passed, and I've done all the research on the 4 of the tools and weapons we've got. So back in our Artifice tab here. So the one we've got already is Axe of the Stream. Axe of the Stream takes Aqua, Instrumentum and Mortis, and these are all going to be pretty straightforward to craft. Basically we make a Thaumic version of the weapon, and you do it in the infusion table. And the axe is one of my favourite tools in the game, and that's one I'm going to make in the infusion table. In fact, I'll make all of them, but that's one I'm going to show on camera. So let's eat these then. What we've got here, just Sword of the Zephyr. Sword of the Zephyr is air, potentia, and Tellum. I should have actually showed you it in the crafting table there, and the research table. This one is the pickaxe of the core. This is Ignis, that's the red one, and Instrumentum and Census. So that's Census, the light blue. Instrumentum's a dark blue, so let's eat that one. And then Hoe of Growth that's Messis, that's Instrumentum again, and that's Victus. So that's your 3 for the Hoe of Growth. And finally, the Shovel of the Earth Mover, also a very nice tool. And that is Fabrico, Instrumentum, and Terra. So the light green's Terra, the dark green's Fabrico, and the dark blue's Instrumentum. So awesome. So now if we look at our thing, we've got all these guys lit up. There we go. So that's our full set of tools and weapons lit up. Tool and weapon. Melee weapon, not a ranged weapon, because that comes under the wands. So let us make an axe of the stream. So great wood log, a diamond, family max, a couple of water shards, some aqua and some arbe. So aqua and arbe should be no problem at all. Aqua, fan, and arbe is probably full. Yeah, arbe's full. So great wood log, get from over here. And I say good practice, always get 2. Oops, get stuck on an anvil. That's optional, you don't have to do that. And blue shards. And there was a diamond in there, wasn't there? Right, my sorting system's in a bit of turmoil at the minute, so I've actually got most of my stuff stored in there. There we go. So let me just double check that again. Water shards we've got, diamonds we've got, great wood log we've got. Water shards, diamonds, great logs, great wood log. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, easy enough. So now we just need a couple of sticks. So I'll grab a handful of sticks. Let's make a handful. Like so, and go find our Thaumic, which should be in here. And what we've got 6. So what I'll do is I shall make the axe, and because I'm using this bound sword from Blood Magic, I'm not going to bother with the sword from this. But I'm going to want the axe, and I'm going to want a shovel, and I'm going to want the Hoe of Growth, because that's quite useful. Oops. So I'll make them 3. And what does that leave us missing then? So that leaves us missing the Sword of the Zephyr and the Pickaxe of the Core. The Sword of the Zephyr is quite cool. You can fly with it really slowly though, but it is quite useful. You can it blows air and it can lift you up, and it's a good sword as well. And obviously you can get repair on it and that, but it's a little bit surface to my needs at the minute, so I shall forego getting that. So let's one of them there, one of them there, and then diamond can go there, and great wood log can go over here. Wonderful. And axe goes in the middle. Smashing. Now we need our wand. Give that a click. And it said negligible instability, so this should go pretty straightforward. I say should. So I can see all 4 of the items there. There goes one shard. There goes the second one. There goes a diamond. And there goes a log. Leaving us with Axe of the Stream. Awesome. Now, I've got 53 levels, so I'm going to try a basic enchant on this. If this goes bad, I will probably pull the enchants off it again. But let's See what we get. Is it better when you've got 2 lands? Well, that's alright. But it's not really what I want on an axe. So what I'm going to do is, I could use my spellbinding cloth. So that spellbinding cloth there, I just pull that enchant off and I could try again. But I might as well keep them because Fortune and Unbreaking are pretty good. So I'm going to use an item from a different mod. So if you have got MFI installed, you can get this thing called an auto disenchanter. And if you have got that in, it's pretty useful because you can just drop it down and you can use it to pull enchants off stuff. You need books for it as well, so I've got a couple of books. So where's my books? Yep. So a couple of books, we'll pull the enchants off that. So this is a bit of mod interaction, but it's kind of go alright in this. So I'm going to pull them off, and then I'll do that in the osmotic enchanter, which I was going to do in the first place, and we'll get that we'll get that enchanted up to how I want it back in a bit. And there we are then, I have pulled the enchants off that, so I've got them as books now, Fortune and Unbreaking, and you see that's taken some damage, but that won't matter because we'll be able to put it in here anyway. So that's going to go in there. We're going to want Repair 2 on this, let's just turn any eye off. Repair 2 and Disintegrate. That's your man through things quicker that. I'm going to want Efficiency 5 and I quite like having Silk Touch on these, but I'll do that later. So I'll get my wand in there. So you've seen this before, of course. I'll put my wand. I'll put it back on there. Come here, you. So put that in there. So yeah, I'll just go with Efficiency and that for now. It is quite useful having Silk Touch though, if I want to get grass and stuff. Yeah, I'll put Silk Touch on it as well. So yeah, all good. And we'll get that enchanting. And while I was doing that, I also made the shovel of the earth mover. Now the shovel was exactly the same. It uses the great log and the diamond, but instead of the blue shards, it used the green ones, the earth shards. And then I made, it's still on there, Hoe of Growth. Now the Hoe of Growth can only be enchanted with repair only. So I'm actually, I'll do that over here in a second. Is that all empty? That's empty yet, so let's put that back on recharge. So that'll recharge off our nodes there. And in the meantime, I've got a repair book up here that I pulled off something else. So because the Hoe of Growth only can have repair on it, I might as well use the anvil. And use the anvil to stick repair onto there. Like so. Cool, so I've got a Hoe of Growth with repair. And then I'm just going to need to put Efficiency 5 and repair onto the shovel. And I've got a nice set of tools. So while we're waiting for that to regen, we can cross off Thaumic tools onto 1 Foci. So I'm going to start doing more research. 1 Foci. I need to open the first part up. And Ignis and Precantatio. So there's quite a few things that we could also get with these. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to. Look at that, give me it. Oh, very nice. I thought I was going to have to go through quite a few things there, so I might as well get on with this. Ignis and Precantatio. That looks easy enough. So should we move you out of the way? And move you out of the way. Move you to there. And then it's just a case of getting this connected. Easy. So there. Oops. There. No. That's going to fit. Yeah, awesome. There we go. So we actually only needed the Ignis there. Very cool. So, bam. We've got that, so now we can look in our book. And we've opened up a whole new set of things now. So as you can see there, we've opened up all these. Wonder of Equal Trade, Wonder of Shock, Wonder of Frost, Wonder of Excavation, and the Focus Pouch. So I need to research all these. Once I've got all these researched, I'll do this first, but once I've got all them researched, I'll come back and we'll start looking at making them and what we can do with them. So, how are you doing? We've got 38. We've got 38 auto there. Still haven't found a decent auto shard, so I need to go looking around. So, where's it gone? There it is. So is 38 going to be enough? It was. Smart. So there we go, I've got a really cool axe. And what I really like about this, and I'm going to go show you downstairs, what really nice thing that, as I know, has added. Now, recently, because of the Tinker's Constructs lumber axe, I guess, that chops trees down in one hit, so there's a bit of competition for the axe of the stream. So what Asano has done is, if we chop this tree down, so what you're going to see is the leaves are going to dissipate really fast. So look how quick the leaves decay. Very nice. So what you can do with this, you can, if you hold shift, it works like a normal axe. Just chops one at a time. If you hold the right button, sorry, the left button, it'll chop things down from the furthest one away. Oops. I'm lying, he's changed that. And see the silk touch there, it's good for getting grass blocks. That's what I wanted the silk touch on it for, really. And for breaking glass and stuff like that without smashing it. Yeah, so, okay, left click, it looks like, oh no, that must have been pressing shift. So left click will pull the wood from the furthest one away down, and then right click will do it even quicker. So right click uses more durability, but it pulls it down quicker. And because we've cut all these trees down, you should see all these leaves falling down real nice and quick, which is really cool, because I hate waiting for leaves to fall and having to break them. So there we go. Right then, I'll go get them new one Foci researched. I'll be back when that's done, and we'll mix them. Back in a bit. Back again. I've got the next bit of research done. I've researched all the focus parts we can do up to now, but I just want to show you a couple of things that I didn't show you last time, of course. So the Hove Growth does two things mainly. One thing is it does 3x3 area with a right click when you use it to till land, and the other thing it can do is if you place it, let's get a sapling, and let's just cut a tree down. Hopefully get a sapling. Oh, come on, give me a sapling tree. Come on. There's one. Lovely. So if we plant this sapling, oh, we've got loads of saplings. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Then right clicking on a sapling, it acts as bone meal. So you've got bone meal without having to mess around getting bone meal, and you can till land in a 3x3 area. And you use some durability, but you've got repair on it, so it repairs nice and quick. Now the other tool we've got here, of course, is the shovel the earth mover. I've not enchanted this yet, but this is going to want repair and efficiency on it. Now with this, if you hold shift down, it digs a normal block, single block like you'd expect. If you just don't hold shift down, if you just press, then bam, it does 3x3 area. And if you do a right click, now the right click's doesn't seem to be working properly for me. But, I don't know if it's broken or if it's the functionality's changed. Previously, if you did a right click in there, it'd fill that with the 9 blocks you'd picked up. But if I place it there, it's going to put them on top, whereas it used to do it in the square there. So I don't know if that's a functionality change that I haven't quite not got my head around yet, or if it's a bug. But before, it used to be really good for, you could use it almost like a builder's wand, because you could just use it to fill anything in, and then you could fill concrete in, even though it's a shovel. If this was all concrete and we had sorry, I keep saying concrete. If this was all cobble and we had cobble in our inventory, previously you could just line it up there and it'd put cobble in. Huh. Yeah. Aha. I think the functionality of this has changed. Okay, so it looks like I've got to go forward with it. There you go, so you see it's placing 3 at a time. So I can dig out 9 at a time. And I can place back 3 at a time. So pretty useful for building, even as well as using it as a normal shovel. So it's a normal shovel and it's pretty good for building. So that's we've all got a couple of uses. Really cool tools. Asano's done a really nice job with them. Right, so let's go back to our research table. And we've done all the things that are open. So let's look. We only had 5 things open. We have where they gone? Thaumaturgy. Yep, there they go. So we've got 5 things open: focus pouch, equal trade, shock, frost, and excavation. Now these are all pretty much the same. The pouch was instrumentum vacuous and fricantatio, I believe. And let's double check that. Yep. So I've searched that using vacuous. So there's a vacuous, there's a fricantatio, and I didn't even use the instrumentum, so that was pretty cool. And then we've got frost, which is just a frost weapon, and they all seem to use fricantatio and a primal. So this is aqua, and then Gellum snow. So makes sense. So all 4 of these, I believe, used a primal, so either aqua or terra or air, and or yeah, I think they all did that. They all use fricantatio, and then they all use something that's more kind of aligned to them. So obviously frost was snow, the shock was potentia. Oops. So there's a shock. The excavation was, I believe, terra. Let's have a look at them. Oops, you got the wrong thing. You go in there. That's terra, that's fricantatio, that's fiducio. So that's the primal one there. And then the equal trade, I believe, was terra again. And this time it was permutatio, so exchange, which makes sense because that's equal trade. Equal trade is one of my favourite one caps. It's really cool. So what we can do now, if we look at these, 2 things. One, we've opened up more. So now we've got Thaumic Tinkerer, for each flame. We've got Uprising from its Tinkerer. Is that flying, possibly? Focus on 9 Hills, which fires bats, which the little exploding bats that you see in the Nether, which is kind of crazy. Dislocation, this is a really cool one. This is Thaumic Tinkerer again. Really good for moving blocks. And Portable Hole, also very good. So let's look at crafting one of these then. So this is nice, arcane workbench. So it's not an infusion recipe or anything. So we can make one of them real quick. Should I get the materials together and make all these? Let's have a look. Do they all craft in the arcane workbench? That one does. That one does. That one does. That one does. And the focus pouch does. So I'll get all the materials together. We'll come back and we'll make all these. Sweet. And back again, a lot of cuts in this episode. I apologise, doing lots of little things. So I've got all the stuff I need. I actually researched the next couple as well. I did the portable hole and the wonder dislocation. Now they're both infusion recipes, so we'll try and make both of them before we go. But all these first ones are just crafted in here, and if I remember right, they all are pretty similar in the fact they have that in the middle. So we're going to want our first one, I think, is excavation. One focus excavation, wonderful. Then our next one is, I believe, frost. Yep. And then next one is, I believe, equal trade. Did equal trade use in the middle? Oh, I think I forgot to get something. Equal trade used quicksilver. Yep, I have. My quicksilver is over here. I'm moving really slow because I've got my V reduction stuff on, just because I want to try and keep as much V as possible because I'm very short on Pedicio. So that goes in there. So I've done the wrong way around. No, what have I done wrong? Okay. 2 order on this side, 2 entropy on the other. And then the next thing we wanted was yellows with a potato, gets us shock, awesome. And I think that's it for the first part with the ones. And then the other thing we wanted was a pouch to put all these in. And there we go, there's a focus pouch. Smart. So what can we do with these then? Well, this is how your wands work now. We need our wand, which let's get that back out of here. Previously you used to make wands for each thing. Now what you've got is you have your main wand, which always is in there. We'll just charge it up a little bit, and what you can do is if you open up your focus pouch, you can slot all your focus in there. And now these are all individually enchantable, by the way. So if we have a quick look, we can put them in there, and so we can get treasure, potency, and frugal. And I want a vehicle trade. There's no charge anymore because your wand, it just uses your aspects off your wand, so you don't actually do any damage to this. But you can give it treasure, so if you're using it as a mining tool, then you can get more diamonds, emeralds, etc. Your potency means it'll do a wider area, and frugal means it won't use as much energy, as much aspects each use. So you see that it shows you it's got a base aspect of 0.07. Now frugal, or maybe bring that down to what, 0.4, 0.05. So over a period of time you want to be enchanting all of your aspects, all of your foci. So let's get this back out of here. And how we use them is, if you've got your wand in your hand, and if you've got your focus pouch in your inventory, all you do is press F. If you look at the top left, we've got a little green thing in there now. That's my wand of excavation now. And if you look at my wand, you see it's got a little green cap on the end. And then if we press F again, that's the equal trade. It's got a little blue cap on the end. It's got a little symbol up there. If I press Shift, it'll show you what I use. So at the minute, it's using 0.11 per operation. And if you look at the base cost of that, so if I press Shift F, it'll take everything back off and leave you just your wand. So let's look at the base cost of what we just looked at. I think that might have actually been the shock one. No. So there you go. It was the frost one. So the base cost is 0.15. And because we have got some V reduction stuff on, it took that base cost already down to 0.11. Now if you had frugal on there as well, it'd take that down more. So you can make them quite nice. And of course, all it's going to do is each use is going to take a little bit of you for each show. I've used the wonder vehicle trade quite a lot. It lasts quite a long time. Obviously, stuff that uses more, like the one of dislocation that we're going to try and make in a minute. That's going to weigh things out much quicker. But you see that each upgrade on here was increasing the base cost. So that's how that all works. I think it's really smart. I think he's done a really nice job with it. So F cycles through. So what's that? Excavation. Is that equal trade? No, that's equal trade. So that other one must have been shock. So yeah, it's excavation. So are they in the same order that they are in the bag? That makes sense, doesn't it? So we've still got one on. Let's take the one off first. Makes sense. And oops, take that off. Now let's look at our bag. So I guess they might go in order. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Excavation. No, it looks like frost again. Shock and equal trade. Okay, so it looks like the it's not alphabetical either, is it? So there must be a method. So the equal trade one's the one with a little gold cap. See on my wand on the right hand, there's the little caps there, and then Shift F just gets rid of them all. Really smart. So what I'm going to do now is we've got these other two. We've got Wand of Dislocation, and this is a dangerous instability. So I'm going to set that up in the infusion table, and we've also got Portable Hole. That's mana, so I'll probably do that one first. And that lets us make portable holes. So I'll make sure I've got all the stuff. I'll get all this set up, and that'll probably be it for this episode, because we've pretty much covered all the wand and the tool stuff. Now there's something I haven't got. Ender Rift just lets you get into your Ender bag, but that's if you just had vanilla and Thaumcraft, that'd let you get into your Ender chest. Now, just what every modded pack has got chicken chunks, Ender pouches and stuff that you can get into that anyway. So well, you could have it on your wand if you wanted. 9 Hells, like I say, fires bats. Uprising, I believe, lets you fly about a bit. Yeah, it lets you fly around a bit. So it's kind of weird flight. You fly where you're looking. Mending, interesting. A Freach Flame is like a smelting tool. So if you target ores, it'll automatically smelt them. And then Telekinesis. Telekinesis, what does that do? Focus and move any nearby items to where you're pointing at. Sneaking will bring the items toward you instead, so that could be quite useful. But I think of the Thaumic Tinker ones, dislocation and the portable hole's not a Thaumic Tinker. But of the Thaumic Tinker ones, dislocation seems the most important one to me. So that is odd. Right, so let me get this set up and we'll get these made. Back in a bit. And back then for the final time this episode. I made the portable hole one. I made the one that had the least instability, because I thought if I'm going to record one, I might as well record the one that could go all tits up. So portable hole, you've probably seen before. Just whoop. You can jump through blocks. Doesn't seem to work on these carpenters blocks though. But it's really quite cheap as well. If you look at that, it's 0.08 Pedicure for each hole, which is pretty cool. I can't actually get up there, so I've got no flight. Never mind. Up we go. Boink. So let's take that back off there. So Shift F, put it back in the bag. And got on my elevator by mistake. So last one then is 3 amber, 4 nether quartz, and a diamond, and a pearl in the middle. We need Alienis. We need. Ooh, actually, we need. I need some. What can I use here? I think I can use obsidian. Let's have a look. We need tenebrae. We're short on tenebrae. So let me just mess around with my. Yeah, that's got tenebrae on it. Awesome. So I'm going to take. I don't need 64, but I'll take 64 for now, and I can always put them back. I need to sort my sorting system. Oh yeah, my item storage. It's a bit of a mess because of an FPS issue I had yesterday. I ripped it all out. So where was we? So if we look, we've only got 4 tenebrae in there. So I'm going to put 60 obsidian in, and of course there's going to be ignis and saxum. Saxum's probably nearly full anyway, so I don't use a lot of saxum. Yeah, saxum's full, so all that saxum's going to get binned, but that's all good because it's automatic. And same with ignis, that's going to get binned, but that's automatic, so that's all fine. But what the one we want is going to fill up, so that's all good. So I'll give that a few seconds to fill up. I don't think there's anything else I really need to tell you about the ones we've done. So obviously, frost damage is frost damage, shock damage is shock damage. Excavation is like a mine, so it's got quite good range on it, so it's pretty useful for getting like blocks high up. If you've got the treasure on it as well, so you can get like diamonds and emeralds from in hollow hills or whatever. So it's got quite a decent range on it, so that's quite cool. One of the best ones ever, I think, is always been equal trade. Equal trade, awesome if you're a builder. You can build something out of cobble and you can change it really quick into whatever resources you want to change it to. It's even better now than it was as well, because you can do all stairs and all stuff like that, and it places the stairs the right way. So it's certainly done something there, because I don't think that used to work like that. So that's also very impressive. Right, we've got 14 in there. Let's check how much we need of each. Where are we? Thaumaturgy. We're making this guy. So 20 alienis, 20 frequentatio, 10 tenebrae, 25 vacuous, 5 vitium. Vitium, we've got 26 of, that's fine. We've got a full 64 of vacuous. We've got more than 10 of that, we've got 15, so that's good. We're full nearly on frequentatio, and we are pretty full on alienis. Let's do it. And dangerous, this one. So what I'm going to do is put the things that could fall off there. Remember how many there is of each. So 4, in fact I'm going to put 3 there. And then I'm just going to stash them other 2 in there for now, out of the way. And that. So I know that I've got exactly the same amount on there as I've got in here. So I've got 4 nether quartz around here, 3 amber, 1 diamond. So if anything goes wrong, I should be able to quickly see things. So it's starting to take alienis. So all 8 of my pedestals are in use. So something just went boom, I think. What happened there? No, look, amber fell off, and it's in my inventory. There we go, put it back. So that's kind of why it's useful to have it on your bar, so I could see it at a glance then I had 4 amber back on my bar, so I knew something had gone, and I could see at a glance which one it was. It gets a bit tricky once it starts ticking the things off, like, oh shit, oh, what I haven't got is blocks, damn it. It should always have some blocks as well. I'll have to leave that there, and hopefully it's not going to make a mess. I've got 5 nether quartz on me, so it needs another nether quartz. I think it's going to be okay. But yeah, you should always have some blocks with you as well. Sweet. That wasn't too bad, was it? So grab that. So to tidy this up. So yeah, it makes sense to have some blocks with you. So let me just grab some. I'll grab some dirt from behind here. Stack of dirt will do me. There we go. Just to clean that tin up. So all you got to do is cover it over. Oops. Go away. Shift. Click. There we go. And where's my shovel? There it is. And there. So then replace the damage, the stuff that it's took. So your things can fall into that tin and get destroyed, which is why you want extras. Oops, wrong place. Want to be there. And my zombie head. That I still don't know if it counts as a skull. I think it does, but come on, face the right way, you guy. Maybe facing. Yeah, there we go. So all is well. All is well in the world. We have got our dislocation focus, which is a really cool focus. We've got a nice amount of focus in our bag. So what we can do with this is, if I knew where there was a spawner, especially because we haven't got soul shards, but what I can do, I suppose, is I could pick up a chest. There we go. So F. Let's go around to the yellow one. There it is. And if I click on that chest, no, sorry, if I shift click on that because it's a chest. Shift click. There we go. You see that up to the top left. It's showing what we're carrying. It's carrying an iron chest, and I can set that wherever I want it. So I'm actually going to take it to my little witchery house, because this is full of witchery stuff, and I can drop it off. So cool. Now, can I change the wand head? I can. So that chest is stored in that wand head still. Sweet. That was a bit of a risk. I could have destroyed all the stuff in the chest. So there we go. So that's this episode done. We've got all our tools sorted. We've not got all our wands sorted, but we've got pretty much everything we want to be using that's not specialist stuff. I will get round to making the rest of these, but I don't see the point in doing it just now because we've got plenty to go at. I'll be upgrading these as I get more V. So each time my wand has got full, and it's not doing bad. So each time that's sorted, I'll be upgrading all them. Next episode, so we've done one Foci. Next episode is going to be looking at golems, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I've not done golems in Thaumcraft 4 yet, but we'll get all the golems, we'll get all the different cores and stuff for them, and we'll see how they all work. We'll set up a farm, something like that. So I hope you'll join me for that, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.